In the valley you see the tents of the Midianites. Gideon sees them as well and he thinks, "Ooh, that are so many enemies." But he knows he has 32,000 people who will help him to attack the enemies. Will that be enough? But God says to Gideon, "You have too many people there. When I give the Midianites in your hands, the people can just say, 'We did it ourselves. We sent all our enemies out of our country.' No, tell the men, whoever is afraid for the war can go home." And there they go. 22,000 men are walking away. There are only 10,000 remaining. Will that be enough to attack the enemies? But the Lord says to Gideon, "There are still too many men. Take them down to the water." There God says, "Let the men drink. Separate those who lap the water with their tongues as a dog laps from those who kneel down to drink." Only 300 men are drinking like a dog. The Lord says to Gideon, "With these 300 men, I will save you and give the Midianites into your hands. Let all the others go home." So Gideon sends the rest of the Israelites home and keeps the 300 men who take over the provision and trumpets of the others. Now it is night. The Lord speaks again to Gideon. "Get up, go down against the camp, because I am going to give it into your hands. If you are afraid to attack, go down to the camp with your servant Purah and listen. You will be encouraged." Gideon and his servant arrived just as a man is telling a friend a story. "I had a dream. A round loaf of bread came tumbling into our camp. It struck the tent with such force that the tent overturned and collapsed." His friend responds, "This can be nothing other than the sword of Gideon. God has given us and the whole camp into his hands." Gideon is so encouraged. He worships the Lord. Now he knows he doesn't need to be afraid. The Lord will do what he has said. The Lord will help him. He can just trust the Lord. Like we also can always trust every single word that the Lord has spoken to us. You can read all his words in the Bible. Gideon returns to his camp and calls his men, "Get up! The Lord will give the Midianites into our hands." He divides the 300 men into 3 groups. He gives them trumpets and empty jars with torches inside. Gideon tells his men, "When I and all who are with me blow our trumpets, then from all around the camp blow yours and shout, 'For the Lord and for Gideon!'" In the middle of the night, just after the Midianites have changed their guard, Gideon and his men are around the camp. Suddenly there is a lot of noise in the air. Gideon and his men blow their trumpets and break the jars that are in their hands. They shout, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" The Midianites wake up. They are shocked and scared. What's going on? They hear noise from all sides. The Lord causes the men throughout the camp to turn on each other with their swords. Do you see the enemies running away? The Lord real has done what he said. He has rescued his people. What a mighty God do we have. What we think is impossible is possible for the Lord. He can also save you.